Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. And of course, the whole world is broadcasting remote, and so we are as well. We're hunkered down in the basement, but power is on, which is good. I understand it's not for about 660,000 here in Michigan, but we're gonna go to another basement, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan Hundt joins us, CEO of the Michigan Works Association. Ryan, it's always good to see you. How you doing?
Good, Chris. Great to see you as well. Hope everybody is staying safe and warm with the ice storm that rolled through Michigan yesterday, but we're glad to be here. Thankful for our generators and our hotspots on our phones to keep us connected and ready to go today.
Yeah, honestly, it is. It's amazing technology, how it's helped survival. So listen, let's talk a little bit about the association. You recently received $100,000 for as a planning grant from the Michigan Justice Fund. Tell us a little bit about that, and a little bit about who the Michigan Justice Fund is.
Sure. So the Michigan Justice Fund is a part of the Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan, and what they are focused on is reentry services and other resources for justice-involved individuals, whether that be incarcerated individuals or formerly incarcerated individuals that do oftentimes face very complex barriers to employment, to housing, to a number of other items that many of us take for granted each and every day. And so the Michigan Justice Fund had posted an opportunity for implementation and planning grants that were made available toward the end of last year. The Michigan Works Association was fortunate enough to receive a $100,000 planning grant that we are going to utilize in the coming months to plan for more efficient workforce reentry services through the Michigan Works Network. And the goal of which, through the planning grant, is to, of course, ultimately receive some implementation funding, either through the Michigan Justice Fund and other partners, whether that be public, private, or philanthropic dollars, to scale those best practices that we identify through the Michigan Works Network in the hopes of connecting incarcerated and formerly incarcerated individuals with the appropriate level of workforce resources they need in order to achieve upward economic mobility.
Well, and I think it's important that everybody know we're not releasing murderers to come and work in your car wash. This is people who are in there for minor or white collar offenses who can easily stream back into the workforce. So let's talk about why we're doing this reentry thing, and why it's so critically important.
Sure. Data has shown consistently over the years that individuals who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated with some type of criminal record, they face significant barriers to employment, to education. Oftentimes, those barriers, they may be mental health issues, they may be low levels of post-secondary education or degree attainment, credential completion, perhaps a lack of work history, depending on how long they have been incarcerated. And so the Michigan Works Association and our members feel strongly that by providing better workforce reentry services for individuals that are coming back into the workforce and streamlining those services through the existing workforce development system, we can help look at and leverage other additional programs and funding at the federal, state, and the local level to help those individuals achieve that upward economic mobility and stay on the path toward sustainable employment. We're also pleased to share as well, not only did the Michigan Works Association receive a planning grant, but two of our members with Michigan Works, Barry and Cass Van Buren, and Oakland County Michigan Works also received a planning grant through this process. And so we're very excited to share those best practices and resources going forward to help identify exactly what do we need to do as a society, as a workforce system, to better connect those justice-involved individuals to the workforce once they're ready to re-enter the civilian population.
Well, and you use the word process. That's an important piece of all this. Let's talk a little bit about that. What the planning grant itself and the process involved.
Sure. What we're going to be doing over the next couple of months is we are going to identify a firm to do some research and consulting for us to help identify best practices across the nation and also best practices within Michigan, because we do have a few of the Michigan Works agencies at the local level that are currently doing a really good job of working with and providing workforce reentry services alongside the Department of Corrections, local courts, local philanthropic organizations, and community-based organizations. So identifying those best practices and doing sort of an asset mapping process is going to be a key part of the planning grant, and that's going to take a few months. We're also going to have unique individual conversations with individuals who have been just as involved as well, going straight to the source and trying to figure out exactly, what could we have done better for these individuals once they were ready to come back into the workforce? Were there things that they needed for support? Were there other organizations that they should have been better connected to help them along their career and educational pathway once they were released from prison or released from incarceration? And so that process is going to be a several month process. And then by the end of this year, we should have a report finalized and ready to go that will outline those best practices. And that'll put us on the path toward implementation beginning in 2024 and beyond.
Ryan, we got about 45 seconds left. How can people stay up to date on your progress and the final report out?
Sure. You can visit michiganworks.org to stay up to date on all the information, whether that's related to the Workforce Reentry Planning Grant or any other items that the Michigan Works Association has coming up. And then once we do release that final report, we will be sure to publish it and work with our wonderful partners all across the state, such as the Michigan Business Network, to promote that and make sure that it's getting into the right hands of the right folks.
Well, we'll get the information out for you, that's for sure. And you do the work. That'll be great. Okay. Ryan Hundt, thanks so much. It's always good to have you on, my friend, CEO of the Michigan Works Association. And you've been watching this Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.